This lady happily handed the goods to the customer, but shockingly, her eyes widened as she received $3,000 instead of $300. Surprisingly, she then revealed that her late grandmother had left all her property to her, giving her more than enough to live comfortably. But suddenly, she got a call. It was her cousin, who immediately mocked her for selling vegetables on the streets. Calmly, she replied that she was only doing it for their grandmother. However, her cousin scoffed, saying that no matter what she did, she would never be the favorite. Just then, her cousin's phone rang. Their grandmother's health report had arrived, and the news was alarming. Yet, the lady simply smiled and walked away. Shocked and panicked, the cousin rushed home, abandoning the stall by the roadside. Later that evening, during dinner, the grandmother unexpectedly mentioned that she could no longer do the chores. Without hesitation, the lady gently took her plate and decided to do the dishes. She quietly completed all the chores without making a sound while her grandmother sat and watched her. Once everything was done, they sat together, and the lady gently leaned in, trying to cheer her up, lovingly assuring her that she would be fine. But later that night, as the lady lay in bed, wincing in pain, her grandmother suddenly walked in. With a soft voice, she reminded her that she had worked all day and needed to take care of herself too. She took out some medicine and carefully applied it to her. At that moment, the lady recalled a time when she had done the same for her grandmother, and with a warm smile, her grandmother agreed, saying, "Time flies so fast." The lady hugged her tightly, promising never to leave her side. Sometimes she would take her out for dinner. Other times, they would go on peaceful walks, making sure she stayed healthy. She constantly worried about her, afraid something might happen unexpectedly. Then one day, unfortunately, she found her grandmother lying unconscious on the floor. A few days later, the owner lady was shocked to overhear her grandmother revealing that she planned to hand over her property to her cousin's husband. The sudden revelation left her in disbelief and confusion, while her cousin mockingly stared at her before walking away. Moments later, in the kitchen, her cousin rudely told her to leave, claiming the house would soon be theirs and that she was no longer welcome. Her cousin's husband coldly added that they would take care of the grandmother and that she should find another place to stay. Unable to say a word, she quietly retreated to her room, heartbroken. Later that night, after everyone had fallen asleep, her cousin secretly snuck out to enjoy late-night parties without a single thought about their ill grandmother. But unfortunately, the grandmother struggled in bed, trying desperately to reach her medicine, only for it to slip from her weak hands and fall to the floor. However, fortunately, the kind owner lady happened to check on her just in time. Seeing her grandmother in distress, she was shocked and immediately questioned why her cousin had abandoned her at night. She quickly gave her grandmother the medicine and, with a worried heart, softly said that she never expected anything in return. She only wanted them to take care of her in her old age. In her final moments, the owner lady stayed by her side, offering comfort and strength, while her cousin wasted time indifferent. But sadly, her grandmother took her last breath, leaving the lady deeply stunned. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she called out to her, but her cousin, unfazed, simply called her husband to bring the lawyer, acting as if nothing tragic had happened. A few days later, the lawyer arrived at their home with a firm decision. Just as he was about to speak, her cousin's husband coldly told her to leave, but she stood up and firmly said that this might not be what their grandmother truly wanted. But to everyone's surprise, the lawyer revealed that the final decision had been made according to their late grandmother's wishes and handed the official document to her cousin. The lawyer revealed that the house had been donated to charity and that all the money had been left to the kind owner lady, leaving the cousin's husband completely shocked. Moreover, he handed her a card containing all the money left for her. As she looked at the card, memories from the past flooded her mind. She remembered saving her money and telling her grandmother that since her parents had left her, she needed to save up to buy her own home. Her grandmother had lovingly supported her. Back in the present, her cousin and her husband desperately questioned the lawyer, insisting that their grandmother had promised them the house, so this couldn't be happening. However, the lady calmly asked if she could use the money to buy the very same house so she could continue living there. The lawyer confirmed that she could, and the decision was final. With no choice left, her cousin and her husband had to leave the house, while the lady stood there, unable to control her tears.